Team, the Cunningham Kelly Chevrolet Coo Coo Marlin. I'm sure you remember this one, don't you?
Yeah, I remember it. I lost the engine coming off the turn over there.
This is down in Atlanta, what, 1972?
Well, it could be a little later than that.
Good look at the accident. Looking like John Kennedy nailed you pretty good up against the wall after the engine let go. A couple of more cars will probably get involved if I remember correctly here.
On down the track, yeah, they do get involved.
But I think the classicness, or what I've always loved about this, how calm can a race car driver be after something like that?
I don't know. You can still be calm after a wreck like that.
You're probably going, what, 150 miles an hour or so when it let go on you off the corner?
Going every bit of 150.
150 miles an hour, you hit a wall, somebody hits you, there are parts flying everywhere. Now, folks, pay close attention to this. Now, the guys who were doing the race, ABC, did this, and thanks to Bill Shepard for supplying us with this video here. Because after all this, here comes another car, looks like he's headed directly for you. Coo Coo gets out of the car and says, no big deal, I'll wait on the wrecker. I got to make sure my hair looks good for the cameras. Oh my, what a way to go. Now, how's that for an introduction of our special guest tonight, Coo Coo Marlin, who is, in my mind, and I'm sure most of those of you out there, an absolute legend. Coo Coo, welcome to On the Circuit. We're glad to have you. Now, I hope you don't mind me calling you Coo Coo.
That's all everybody knows me about. Is a name. Of course, my real name's Clifton, you know, but Coo Coo's been there all my life.
Now, is that just something that you know, did you do something silly and your mom and dad tagged this on you, or what?
Well, when I was a kid, of course, there's several of us boys, and I couldn't talk too plain, and people asked me what my name was, and of course it's Clifton. I couldn't hardly say it, so wound up going Coo Coo, and it just stuck.
Listen, the video we just saw here a couple of minutes ago from down in Atlanta, do you remember getting out of the car and prepping the hair for the cameras and everything?
Yes.
What was going through your mind then?
I guess maybe I was thinking about I'm going to wind up being on TV.
Well, now you're on TV again in Nashville. We're awful tickled to have you with us. Looking for a place to start with you is almost impossible. I guess we go back, and the question we ask everybody is, how'd you get started the first time? What got you in the first race car?
Well, I had an older brother that raced, and of course I was underage, and I owned part of the car, and we'd go to racetracks, and I get to run it a little bit because I was part owner. So one day he was late showing up for the race, and they just stuck me over in it, and from then on, I done good that day, and wound up buying me a car the next week.
So you bought a car and went racing. Where'd you race the first time? Do you remember?
Hohenwald.
Hohenwald. Now, were you living in Columbia then?
Well, I was living, no, I was living in Franklin, Williams County then. And of course, later on, I moved to Murray County, married, and moved out of Murray County.
Now, your first race at Hohenwald, when did you come to Nashville? When, or at least to race here? I think you were telling me earlier you would race at the, I guess the old Legion Bowl down next to Jefferson Street.
I ran the old Legion Bowl and run Hohenwald in Columbia. They had a track at Columbia. And of course, we started picking up a few races in Alabama.
Now, you came up at a time when racing was maybe in its infancy. Just getting started, and it was kind of, was it kind of ramshackle, or I guess the old saying every driver uses is run what you brung and hope you brung enough.
Well, of course, back then, it didn't cost that much to operate a car. We run out of junkyard. You go outside the engine, the rest of it was really junkyard stuff. And you could operate cheap, and it wasn't too, basically you make more money back then than you could, money-wise.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was there money in it in the early days?
Yeah, you can make a little money. Back to business, of course, we run Old Hickory back then, too, and after the next year or two, I started driving for Carl Woods and this and that, and I'd drive 3 races a week and get a share of the, the winners. And basic, I had, just a weekend, I could help make a little living right there.
Make a little extra money.
Yeah.
Were you working full-time during the week, like so many of the guys now?
Working full-time.
So you're working full-time doing a race car, just like the guys did. What was the difference between then and now? Was it a little easier to work on the cars then?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot easier, of course. Now, you know what, of course, in that, I was keeping the, you know, running my own operation, independent. And it was hard on me, but back in the early days, it wasn't that hard, you know. We just wouldn't do that much work to them.
So nobody did then, is that
No.
what you're telling me? It's just, you know, we take it to the
Yeah.
track. Was it more of a fun kind of thing and nobody took it that serious?
Oh, yeah.
Or were you just dead serious from the very start?
Well, I was very serious about winning the first time I got in one. And you got to be that way.
That's the only way to be,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So as time moved along, you know, I drove several different people around Nashville. Enjoy it.
We're going to talk about each and every one of those. Talk about his days at Nashville. I'm about to calm down. You can keep from throwing sticks at me now. We'll be back.
Hello, friends. I'm Guy Wright with the Insurance Mart. For years, I've been talking to you about solving insurance problems with automobile insurance. The Insurance
You
Mart...
who are tuning in to catch a hold of Coach Bruce Stewart, you missed him about an hour. I don't know what's going on back there. I think everybody back there is the same shape I am. Little at all, the legend that's with us tonight. Listen, I got good news for about 7 folks, because we're going to send 7 of you. And we've got you some tickets to go down and see the Bama Peanut Butter 100 late model stock car race next Friday night, this Friday night. And then on Saturday night, the Bama Preserves 300 for all pro cars. That Saturday night before Talladega. That's the coming week. Going and whatever, the Alabama Jam or whatever. Anyways, we got tickets for you. And there's 7 of you that have already won. I got them in front of me. Now, a little later on, we're going to draw out of these 7, and somebody's going to get 2 great seats to the Talladega Die Hard 500, which is Sunday. Now, if you haven't got your tickets for Talladega, you better be on the phone with a credit card in the morning. I understand those things are moving so fast that the term sellout is becoming very close to being a reality. But for the tickets to see the Bama Peanut Butter and the Bama Preserves races at Birmingham Superspeedway next Friday and Saturday night, the winners are... We got a drum roll back there anywhere? Oh, okay. Okay, no, we don't. Thank you. Diane Painter wins a pair of tickets. Jim Baltz wins a pair of tickets. Isn't this fun? Don't you love this?
I love it.
We're going to let Coo Coo draw for the Talladega tickets. Let's see. Terry Jenkins. How's that? Out of Goodlettsville, no less. I love it. Dean Bingham from out in apparently the Green Hills area. Bill Funk and Mike Mitchell all win a set of tickets to the weekend's races at Birmingham Superspeedway. Thanks a lot to Bob Harmon and the folks at Bama Preserves and Bama Peanut Butter for making those available to us. And don't forget, somebody in this little group, I've got them right here, I'm protecting them very highly, going to win a pair of tickets to the Talladega Die Hard 500, which, now, he's quit driving, but he's got a son I think's got an excellent chance to win next week down in Talladega. You wouldn't argue with that too much, would you?
I wouldn't argue with it because Sterling runs good at Talladega, and he is wanting to win, and he's got a car capable of winning, so I hope to be there and see it.
All right, before we go back to Coo Coo, 244-8255. That's 244-TALK. If you want to talk to Coo Coo Marlin, he is with us tonight, and I am tickled, and this gives you a chance to talk to the man yourself. 244-8255, 244-TALK. I think I got the right number. I don't think I'm that far. Yeah, that's it. That's it on the screen. Read the screen. Don't listen to me, because I may be a little still off the mark tonight. When we left, we were talking about when you first got started in racing and the difference, and you said you were dead set to win from the very start.
Right.
That never went away, did it?
Never did.
Is that competitive spirit something that's just born in you, or did something happen to you along the way and you said, I ain't never going to lose again if I can keep from it?
Well, of course, right there in the 60s, middle 60s, late, you know, you get to winning, and it looks like more you win, more you run, more you want to win. Of course, at the time I moved up to NASCAR, I wanted to beat them boys independent. And I kept thinking I could, we was running good, but our equipment just never would hold.
I don't want to jump too far ahead, but you did cover the field one afternoon in Daytona.
Yeah, of course, I always run good over Daytona, and thought I had 1-2 of one, and then got black flag right to last of the race, and Sometimes we make bad pit stops. Of course, with the independent, you know,
Sure.
we was running on a shoestring.
Now, but I'm thinking, did you not win a qualifier, 125-mile qualifier there one year?
In '73, I won a qualifying, and of course, finished second in the next one. We always ran good on Daytona if we held up.
Tell you what, we're going to talk a little bit about what you accomplished at Nashville before we go too far into the NASCAR stuff. First, though, let's go to the telephones and talk to Bobby tonight. Hello, Bobby.
How you doing, Joe?
Good.
I got a question, Coo Coo.
All right.
How many kids does Sterling have?
One, Stedman. One boy, Stedman.
Does his wife and Stedman travel the circuit with him?
As much as possible. They've been going pretty regular. Of course, they might have missed Pocono today, so they have a little trouble getting a ride in on a plane or something. So I think he missed Pocono, though.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for calling tonight. 244-8255. Let's go back to the phone, talk to Sonny. Hello, Sonny. It's your turn.
Hello there, Coo Coo.
Yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good. You know who I am, Sonny Upchurch.
Oh, yeah, Sonny.
I ain't doing no good. I heard your wife was in the hospital. Is that right?
She was in the hospital. She's back home now, and she's a little better than what she was.
Well, I've met her several times. She's always seemed like a nice person to me, and I just want to check to see how she's doing. And one more question. Didn't you run a big block years ago?
That's right.
I thought you did. I thought you run a 496, 396 or something most of the time.
Well,
How many track champions do you win down there?
Won 4-point championships.
I thought you did. Well, it's good to talk to you, and I'm glad that your face feeling better.
Okay, thank you, Sonny.
I'll see you later.
And thank you for calling. And for those who may not know, the caller who just called in is kind of a legend himself around here at Sonny Upchurch.
Yeah, that's right.
You raced against him quite a bit, didn't you? Did you ever put him in the wall?
No. No.
Did he ever put you in the wall?
No.
If you ever did, would you admit it?
I don't think I never put nobody in the wall.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you had, would you have admitted it? Going back to where we were, talking about some of the things as you came through Nashville and the experiences here, you won 4-point championships. Now, the story has been, I guess, up until this year and last year with the Tennessee Racing Hall of Fame, everybody thought Coo Coo Marlin had won 3 and his son Sterling had won 3. And the whole time you had won 4, a little glitch. The Hall of Fame, Norman Parton and his group helped clear part of it up, and then I plugged myself. This year I got to write a story for the program at Nashville. Maybe cleared it up a little more. There was one year you got shorted on.
Well, I always put that in Joe Carver's fault.
Oh my, why was that?
Well, he kept putting one over to somebody else, which he claimed the fairground burnt and lost the records at that point. But I told him it don't make me no difference. I had the trophies, and I got the write-ups to prove it. So.
And something that never bothered you then?
No, it bothered my wife.
Did it really?
But it never bothered me.
You know, I was figuring up at the start of the season that 30 years, 1 year they did not award a championship because they didn't run enough races, which I believe was 79. That means there were 29 champions in 30 years, and between you and your son, you had almost 25% of them.
That's, yeah. And of course, I've lost it 3 times in the last, on the last race.
What happened?
Well, one race lost it to Wallace. Wallace, I had the lead in a 100-lap race, and went without 80-something laps, and I didn't have a few to go, and I run over exhaust pipe and blow the tire and hit the wall.
No.
And one race, the engine caught a fire, and it went to Fred Fryer. And one day, somebody left plug wire off, and Larry Seltzer won.
Good night. You can remember all that.
Yeah.
I guess you would remember those things where you come that close.
Had won and turn around and lose it on the last race.
That would have been 10 out of 29.
Yeah.
Gosh, what a record. Let's go back to the phones now and talk to Nancy at 244-8255. Hello, Nancy.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering if Coo Coo remembers racing with Jimmy Griggs and Charlie Binkley.
Sure do.
Have you seen them lately?
I hadn't saw Charlie lately. Of course, I see Jimmy every now and then.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the one wreck that he had when he went out the billboard and come back in and somebody hit him? Do you remember that wreck? It was a long time ago. You know, that's when it stopped his racing career.
I really don't remember it. I believe you might be talking to, I remember my brother going at the billboard now. I don't know which race you was talking about.
Yeah. Well, it was, I can't remember the date and everything, but he went out the billboard, and he come back in and somebody hit him, and that's the one that ended his career right there, that wreck at Nashville Speedway.
Oh, I believe I remember that. I believe Ronnie Blaskin Jim might have hit him at the day they had that crash.
Yes, sir. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. You must have some fond memories of running against folks like Charlie Binkley and that bunch.
Well, usually when you run against me, you know, especially for competition.
Thinking back on Binkley, Jimmy Griggs, how much further how many? You could probably name 25, 30 others.
Oh yeah, I go back to Ruther, Jimmy Griggs, P.U. Daly, you just name them. And of course, just like the Allison boys, Red Farmer. You know, back then he was coming out of Florida and Hueytown, Alabama.
Who was the toughest here?
Red Farmer.
Really?
Yeah.
Still
That's
racing
the
too.
toughest I've run against right here.
Who'd you want to beat the most?
Well, I guess at that point, of course, Griggs run good. Brady's. Of course, they bring Red Farmer in to beat me, and of course, I always wanted to beat him. And he wasn't easy to beat.
But they just wanted to make you work a little harder. Is
Yeah.
that it? Sounds like something put together by a man named Donahoe.
That's right.
We'll talk about Mr. Donahoe here in just a minute, but first let's go back to the telephones and talk to Beth. Hello, Beth. You're on the circuit.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, how are you?
Good.
I had a question for Coo Coo.
All right.
Would you ever consider coming back to Nashville and racing again if you were asked to?
No way.
No? How come?
I kept up all my equipment through the years, and I tried to keep up my farm. And basically, I was beginning to get tired. And after I quit running, and Sterling, my son, started running, I just rather see him run and me not have to work so hard.
Okay, that's all I want to know. I used to watch you there when I was about 12 years old, and I think you're great. And I think Bobby Hamilton can take some lessons from you.
Okay.
Oh, my.
He's doing good.
Oh, my. Tell you what, on that note, let's take a break and get this out of the way. 244-8255, give us a call on the circuit.
It's race time every Saturday night at the Highland Rim Speedway for the only NASCAR-sanctioned stock car racing around, Highland Rim Speedway. Time trials begin at 6 o'clock, first race at 7:30 p.m. Highland Rim is the fastest piece of real estate in the country with its quarter-mile bank track. When you're looking for frills and thrills, it's the Highland Rim Speedway, located just a short drive of I-65 North, exit 104. For NASCAR racing at its best, it's the Highland Rim
Circuit. Welcome in.
Joe?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh, they can't hear me. Does this help any?
No.
No? Well, you must be hearing me. You're answering me.
I'm watching you on TV.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Talk to me.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to say to Coo Coo, we are really pulling for Sterling. We really want him to win bad this year.
Well, I appreciate that. I felt like he's had a chance to win 2 or 3, and I have a feeling he could get one before the year's gone.
Well, we sure did hate to see Dave Marcus run over him a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't think it did a whole lot for
He
Sterling.
was running
either,
extra
did it?
good at Charlotte too, and of course, you know, NASCAR didn't put out the caution flag right there, and I think that's what messed everything up.
Well, see, that bothered me because, you know, it was like he blew a tire and it seemed like they didn't caution. I wondered why. Do you know why they didn't caution?
They first went out with it, then they brought it back in, and basically since then, I think it made a rule any car hits a wall that they will bring out a caution. I believe that's the rule now.
Well, it's a little late for him, but... And, Joe, I'd like to make a couple comments about Saturday night's race at Nashville.
What did I do wrong?
First of all, I am real disappointed because for the first time I saw a fan throw trash on the track at a driver.
I do hope you pointed that fan out to a security officer.
The security officer saw him, but he was not energetic enough to chase him. And that really disturbed me. It was thrown at Bobby Hamilton. And second of all, I would like it to be known there still are some Bobby Hamilton fans around. And I think Mr. Phelps' comment after the accident last night was really trashy.
Well, let me say this real quick, if I may. Knowing both of them, you know, knowing both these guys in the heat of the moment, I think they're both liable to say something that they probably got up this morning and went, wish I hadn't have said that.
Well, from where we were sitting, which was right in front of the flag stand, which is right where it seemed to all happen, it looked to us like Bobby did everything he could not to totally just clobber Zillin. But Zillin had been loose for about 3 or 4 laps, and the name of the game is get around.
Got to win.
And if Zillin can't hold on to it, then so be it.
I think it's just one of those racing things, and I'll just about guarantee you that by this Saturday night you won't hear another word about it.
Well, I don't know, because Mr. Phelps' last comment was what comes around goes around. But I just want it to be known that there still are some Hamilton fans, and we're behind him 100%.
Okay, well, again, for whatever it's worth, I talked to both of them about an hour later. They were both okay.
Well, we love Bobby.
All right. Thank you for calling tonight. 244-8255 is the phone number for our special guest, Coo Coo Marlin. And the topic has turned to Sterling, and he does have his first win under his belt, doggone it. He won the Winston Open this year.
It don't go in the record book, though.
Oh, but it goes in the record book in hearts of his fans.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Of course,
and he came within a hair of winning the Winston.
That's right. He's running extra good over there. Of course, that car, they got 4 or 5 different cars, and that car there, the car they used today was a car that just run Rockingham and Charlotte. I think that's only the 2 races they've been using in. So they felt like Pocono, they needed to get out this car for this race, and they did. And he qualified better, and it appeared he's going to run better, but it looked like he lost a cylinder out there, kept puffing out oil.
A lot of smoke coming outside, you were telling me.
All day long.
You know, I guess that's something that's different. You were telling me earlier that when you were running as an independent, and that was even in the days when you had short track cars and a speedway car, you had a super speedway car. Now they've got super speedway cars, intermediate cars, short track cars, a car built just for one track.
And you got a road course car, yeah. I guess all outfits got 6 to 8 cars.
Now, when you were running the Winston Cup circuit, wasn't quite like that, was it?
Had one car, had to use it on short tracks and all. It hurt us on short tracks. First Daytona and Talladega, the weight, the car was extra heavy. We didn't carry no weight, and we weighed 3,900 pounds.
Is that what they weighed then? So they have really lightened the cars up.
I see some cars in was running with 300 or 400 pound lead, but my old car was just built heavy, and through the years the frame kept welded on it and this and that, and we just had extra heavy car.
Now, as I recall, you got a lot of help from the folks at Cunningham Kelly Chevrolet. You kind of put them on the map in the Southeast.
I feel like today, if it wasn't for Cunningham Kelly, Sterling wouldn't been in there today. He helped a lot. Because at the time, when I quit Nashville, I was really ready to quit racing. And Mr. Cunningham, H.B. Cunningham, he's on one side of the fence and I was on the other. And he said, if you want to try the NASCAR on up above there, he said, I'll help you. So we got together and we run 10 years.
You know, if you go to the races, now all this time, young Sterling's running around, Daddy, I want to watch, right. I want to help.
Hanging on the fence, on in the garage here, of course. I think when Sterling got about 12, 13, NASCAR actually laid him in his garage with me, because I usually didn't have much help, maybe 1 or 2 boys, and I needed the help, and of course Sterling's a good help back then.
Now, there is a story that goes around that's become almost folklore about the way you told your wife, Eula Faye, Sterling was going to get to run, I guess, his first super speedway race, or his first race at Talladega. Can you tell that to us?
Well, of course, my wife was determined he wasn't going to run it. And at that time, we did have 2 cars. And so we just kept working on the car, and of course, my wife definitely wasn't going to let him run. So one day at lunch, I just did tell her, I said, Sterling's going to run Talladega this weekend. And she kind of, why didn't she know something about it?
The way the story has been going around, though, it was Sterling's going around town like a pass potatoes. I'm ready to keep eating.
Yeah, it was change the conversation.
Did it work?
Yeah.
So he got to run. How did he do in that race? You remember?
I really forgot.
So, but did you take both cars? Both of you try to qualify?
Well, he run the sportsman race down there, ARCA, maybe ARCA sportsman. I can't say for which.
Okay.
But he ran one. Of course, he didn't run in the Grand National Division at that time.
Now, how did you do on that particular weekend?
I don't know. I always run good on Talladega, but I've lost several engines down there.
How do you keep in your mind, or do some races kind of come and go, and there are just some that stick out of? You got any idea how many races you've run over your career? Counting the Legion Bowls and the Nashvilles and the Winston Cups.
I never did keep up with them. I run enough to keep me busy. Especially when you're keeping your own outfit up. And see, I was trying to farm too.
I guess that really was the roughest part. Yeah, we talk about some of the guys who run on a local level here, working regular jobs and keeping a race car going, being 2 full-time jobs. But that's just on a local basis. When you're traveling to run Winston Cup on an independent basis, that's got to be a killer.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we wouldn't get average out 3 hours sleep a night, 3 or 4 nights straight there, you know. We get in the truck and drive like Pocono, 20-something hours, run a race, and say, I got to be back home Monday to work. So we ride all night to get back home. Wasn't easy.
You got to love it. You must love the sport.
Yeah.
Got to go fast, turn left. That's what it's all about. Let's go back to telephones, 244-8255. Talk to Jerry. Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing, Joe?
Good.
It's Jerry Larkin.
Hey, biggin.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Listen, I want to ask Coo Coo something. Coo Coo, you remember a few years ago you had a dove hunt down there, and me and Wayne Judkins, a couple of these other South Nashville boys come down there, and a game warden kind of had his rules mixed up a little bit down there.
Yes, he did.
Was going to take off our guns and stuff. You had to come down there and straighten him out. I was going to see if you remember that.
Well, it was kind of a little odd that morning. It's the second day of the hunt, which the second day you can't start shooting at, I believe, sunrise. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
But he was kind of new in there, and he head on back to the place. And he come slipping through, and he said we had the whole place surrounded. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I was fixing to eat breakfast, and he said, you come down here, all these people down here hunting in this field. And I said, I ain't going. He said, yes, you are. But I tried to avoid it as much as could. I thought maybe he was right. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be in hunting. But went on down there and come find out some of the hunters got the book out and showed him where that they could hunt. And he thought we were hunting on a baited field, which wasn't. We'd cut millet off of it, and millet, you know, run through a hay band and leaves a lot on the ground. So had a pretty good round that morning.
Yeah, we had a pretty good hunt after that.
Yeah.
Joe, let me ask you something too. Was that the official standings that you run down a little while ago for Saturday night finish in the late model stock car?
That is what I was given when I left, yes.
Okay. I was just wondering, who was that black flag in there on about the last 5 laps?
Understand they put the black flag the last 3 laps on third place finisher Chubby Crowell. Apparently someone suggesting maybe he had jumped a restart. But from what I understand, the race ended before the 3 laps when you pull the card and all this good stuff, so he stands in third.
Okay, I guess that covers everything. Coo, good to hear from you again. I hope we see you around the racetrack a little more.
Okay, glad to talk with you.
All right.
Appreciate the phone call. 244-8255 is phone number to On the Circuit. And Mr. Marlin, I guess that's just another little run-in with an official. Have you ever had problems with officials?
I hardly ever got by a night out here with Mr. Donnie Ho and Benny Goodman. Then when he's running, we had a run-in about every night.
What were they? Were you cheating?
No.
Would you cheat?
Never cheated.
Never once?
Never had an illegal engine.
Well, the engine's not the only place you can cheat, though.
Well, I'd never. Where else? Of course, back then I didn't know nothing about the gas. And see, I never have used it. Even Grand National, it's never been in my shop. We stayed legal. When you ain't got much money to operate on, you have to run pretty legal, because you can't afford to cheat. Really,
and have something taken away from you.
Takes money to cheat.
Good point. Let's go back telephones, 244-8255. Nathan's on the line. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Just want to ask you if you ever raced at Highland Rim.
I believe it was up there one time. And I couldn't, back early in the days, I don't, it'd be hard to say. I think it was dirt then.
You remember when they paved it?
I never did race up there when they paved it. I don't know.
That's all I wanted to ask you, sir.
All right, we appreciate you calling tonight. And let's not stop the flow. You folks want to talk to him, we're going to bring him to you. Susan's on the telephone. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
I want to ask you a question about last night at the Raceway.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a Zillion Phelps fan, and we were sitting right there too. And I believe did Bobby Hamilton get in, anything illegal in his car or anything?
No, not know of. They've checked him real good 4 or 5 times this year. He's come out all right.
Okay, they didn't say that he didn't tag him.
Thank you in the back there. Tell you, no, there was, as I understand it, there was no penalty. They did touch one of those things.
Okay, then. I just want to say hi to Cuckoo too.
Hi.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for calling. Last night at the track, a little sheet metal, I think, getting together, and that's happened before out there.
Oh, yeah.
You've been in the middle of a couple of controversies.
Several of them probably, but I can't pinpoint none of them, but I've been in several of them.
I love it. The man smiles and tells the truth. We'll talk to Coo Coo Marlin, the legend, a little more when we come back on the circuit. All right, welcome back to On the Circuit. I'm Joe Williams. Our special guest tonight, again, a legend. Coo Coo. Does it bug you when somebody calls you a legend? I used to have to think, I've been sitting here, he's over here on my left, and I've been calling him a legend all night. Does that bother you?
No, it don't bother me. Of course, I've heard it on the radio when Sterling's racing, sometimes they come up with that, but I always wondered where they got it from. But
I can tell you, listen, with your career and your past history, I mean, it is a well-deserved, earned honor.
Well, I tried.
And done awful well. Tell you what, somebody's about to be real happy. We have the winners of the tickets to the Bama races this Friday and Saturday night down at Birmingham Superspeedway, Birmingham, Alabama. And we're going to put them in this little envelope. And don't you love it? I don't have, Ron Kaiser's got the big wheel. You remember Kaiser used to turn the big wheel, and he'd draw your name and maybe you got a few bucks? Well, we're going to mix them up best we can. If you'll reach in there and grab one, Coo Coo Marlin's going to pick our winner tonight for 2 tickets to the Talladega Die Hard 500 next Sunday. And the winner is, upside down is what the winner is. Let's turn it right side up. Dean Bingham from out in the Green Hills area. You won a pair of tickets to go to the Talladega Die Hard 500, and you're going to be there.
I hope to be there. Right.
You may run into each other. Dean Bingham, congratulations from On the Circuit and the folks down at the Alabama International Motor Speedway. And again, if you didn't win tickets to Talladega, get on the phone in the morning because I'm telling you, they're going quick and you just might miss them. Coo Coo Marlin's our guest on the circuit. Let's go back to the telephone now and get as many folks as we can in at 244-8255. First call up is Dot. Hello, Dot.
Hello, Joe.
How are you?
Fine.
Good.
Missed the races at the Rim this weekend, but I'm fine. But I was at the fairgrounds last night. I'd like to ask Joe, does he miss the races at the fairgrounds that used to be there? Coo Coo. The old races that was there.
Of course, I always liked that first track you had down there back in. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You run right against the wall, but it's always been my pick of the 3 tracks they had. But as far as missing it, with the age catching up with me, I don't miss it that much.
Well, they used to have some good racing there. They sure
Thank you.
did. Well, that's all I wanted to know.
All
Good
right.
night.
Well, thank you for calling tonight. We appreciate it. I guess, and a lot of folks don't remember, everybody remembers the old 36-degree bank track.
Right.
That was so high and so tough on suspension. And, of course, everybody knows about the track now. A lot of folks don't remember the first track was banked higher than the one now. 24-degree banking in the corners and 5/8 of a mile, I think, in length, or was it a half mile?
I believe it was 5/8 then. Of course, that track, you had to run the wall. If you didn't touch the wall, you wasn't in the groove.
Somebody was telling me, I remember looking back over some stuff and some old pictures saying it was parabolic which meant supposedly you could run as fast at the top of the corners as you did down the straightaways. Was that the way it operated?
Well, you can run a whole lot faster. What you do, run up there just as high as you go and duck off. And get your speed built up for the next corner. Of course, you didn't have too much running room. There wasn't about 2 lanes like it was. That's it. 2 lanes covered it. The real high bank part, which go in kind of low and drift to the high part.
Hang on.
Uh-huh.
Hang on, cut it off and
Yeah.
do the best you could. Tell you what, this man has got some courage. And yeah, boy, I remember some races. Anyway, let's go back to the telephone, 244-8255. Hello, Sandy, it's your turn.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
I have a question for Coo Coo.
Okay,
Coo Coo,
Sandy.
when you were racing, what was the rule on a red flag stop? Were you or were you not allowed to work on your cars in the pits?
You're not allowed to work on the cars.
What do you think of the new ruling out of the fairgrounds? When they have a red flag stop, they let them go in the pits and work on the car, and all they have to do is go to the back of the pack.
Of course, NASCAR, I mean, back in when we ran, if you touched the car, you know, say to stop the race, you know, clear up a wreck, because they put me in the back on this. If one of the crew come out and you touch the car, you go back to tail end of the field. Of course, in Grand National, the Winston Cup, you basically, I've been in Pocono, and then we had the car lost the wheel, broke the brake line, and it come a rain, and we had sat there, and before we got to work on the cars all had to start up and get out into the pit road and let us go back to work.
Mm.
I wish the people running the fairgrounds now knew more about rules. It would make it a lot easier for the fans that try to follow things.
Yeah, of course, it helps.
I think along with their lineup each week they ought to give the rules that they're going to use maybe that night.
But back in when we run fairground, if one of the crews touched the car on a deal like that, you had to go tail end the field. I don't know what they done this past week or when, but that was the rules back then.
It's happened several nights. The night they ran the national race out there, a car went into the pits for 25 minutes and got work done while they were at a red flag, and all she had to do was go to the tail end of the field. Now, to me, I'd swap 25 minutes working on the car anytime, just go to the back end of the field.
That'd be right nice to get to work on doing that time.
Okay, thank you.
I think I know what she's talking about. Well, by the way, ma'am, you're going to love this one, Sandy. One of the drivers, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I talked to him in the pits last night. He said, well, welcome to Disneyland. It just depends on what week it is, which I thought was a great line. What happened last night, Coo Coo? They had a red flag condition, and apparently a couple of the drivers got out of their car to check tires or something. Maybe let some air out. I don't know exactly what the situation was. Because, the way I always understood it, and this is to help everybody, when I was at the track, the way the general racing rule read was under a red flag condition with the cars on the track, if a driver gets out and he does work, that's okay.
I think that's right. I believe it was what we done back in. If the driver does it and pulls out a little sheet of metal, he can do it.
But if a crew member touches it...
official to put it out, but now as far as a crew member, he couldn't touch the car.
Crew member touches it, you go back to the back, right? That's, well, see? I love it. Thank you, buddy. Oh, man. Let's go back to the telephones now. I think Jeff's on the line. Hello, Jeff.
How you doing?
Good.
I got a question for Coo Coo. I was just wondering if he has any fond memories or otherwise of racing against Fluky Buford out at the fairgrounds, and also if he raced anywhere else after he stopped racing at the fairgrounds.
Outside of going on to the Winston Cup cars, I might got in a car down there one night. I believe, and of course I didn't finish, but I believe I just ran one time after I went to Winston Cup.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you for calling. Let's stay with the phones and go talk to Gary now at 244-8255. Hello, Gary. No, Gary? Gary, pay your phone bill and those things won't happen to you. Coo Coo, let me ask you something. As you proceed now, we've talked about some of the past, some of the drivers that you've raced against your Winston Cup career. You've had a lot of success. Sterling's come along now, and Sterling came up the hard way. Again, as an independent for quite a while, he's been plugging along and plugging along. He won Rookie of the Year honors in '84, I believe. And then in '85, when there should have been a ride waiting on him, It just wasn't there, but he kept going. Now he's in the Piedmont Underalls Oldsmobile. Things are looking up. Success is about to come his way. How would you feel if Stedman said, Grandpa, I want to do a race car.
Well,
Let's go to Nashville, or let's go to the Rim and start.
That's where he's got to start it. I feel like, you know, if you start back there young and get a little experience before he goes out there, I'd help as much as I could. Of course, this day and time, it'd be hard for me to set a car up because that's how much they've gained on me through the years. If back even when I run, if you missed 2 or 3 races, you got behind. And I wasn't running full circuit, and you couldn't stay caught up with what was going on.
So the sport was evolving as fast then as it is now.
That's right. Of course, Sterling, I helped Sterling a little bit set a car up, you know, when he first started. But after 3 or 4 races, he got where he could set up good as I could, and probably and better later on.
Daddy'd miss a race, come back, try to do something, Sterling would say, Daddy, that ain't right.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the phone and talk to Susie. Hello, Susie. Hello.
Hello, Joe?
Yes.
I was wondering if you could tell me anything about the mini modifying last night. What happened to Danny Gill in car number 17?
It is my understanding at this moment, and I do not know if anything has changed. If it has, I have not been informed. Okay? When I left about 1 o'clock, when I left the track about 1 o'clock, Danny had been removed from the race last night, and it was my understanding that he had been suspended for the remainder of this season for conduct, I don't know if they're using the term conduct detrimental to the sport or unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever. I do know that in one way or another he had filed an appeal and was hoping to have that penalty reduced some.
Oh, well, I know that the 31 Kroger car kept, you know, it was them two battling each other back and forth. And I was wondering if it maybe had to do something with him, you know, a reason why he got upset.
I do not know what caused the first black flag. I believe it was the fact that he was black flagged that may have helped him to lose his temper.
Well, they kept trying to, you know, jump each other's space. One wanted one space and one wanted the other. They weren't in front of each other.
That's part of racing.
Yeah, I know. Well, will he be at Highland Rim this coming Saturday night?
I would, if he's not at Nashville, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Danny's got quite a chunk in his car.
Well, do y'all ever hear anything from Sambo Willard? He's car number 83.
Yeah, he was there last night, ran a good race.
Yeah, he runs pretty good, but I hear that he sometimes races in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Do y'all ever hear anything from him there?
No, as a matter of fact, it's my understanding that the weekly program at Birmingham may be going bye-bye. It's very possible. That's one reason you might want to get down there this weekend. The track in Birmingham is about to be history, Coo Coo. I mean, they're about to tear the place up and put in a lake. The city's going to work. Either this year or next year will be the last season. They're talking about putting in a jogging track and a lake and all this kind of stuff. So, now's the time to go to Birmingham. You've raced at Birmingham.
Yeah, I've run Birmingham. I've run it when it was dirt.
Has the old guardrail down there ever reached out and bit you?
Not really. Not really. Of course, I didn't run there that much, but I think we finished about 4th in the championship down there.
It's a grand old track, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just oozes tradition. You walk in and you just see
it's
it everywhere.
It's flat track. I never did like flat track. I always, that's one reason I never liked Martinsville. I always used to the bank out here, and of course that's one reason I like Talladega and Daytona. It's got the high bank on it. Charlotte.
You won't go fast.
Yeah, not use the brakes.
Well, only a couple of minutes left with us. Tell me something. Where do you go from here? You just going to go home and run your cattle and pull for Sterling?
That's right. Just sit around on farm.
Sir, you don't know what a pleasure it has been for me to have you with us tonight. I could go on for another 2 hours.
I probably could too.
We're going to have him back, I can guarantee you that. Coo Coo Marlin has been our special guest tonight. Congratulations to Dean Bingham. Dean, you're going to Talladega and Birmingham on us this weekend. How's that grab you? Listen, don't forget to join us next week on the circuit. Brought to you, of course, by the folks at Lighting and Fans, Express Pizza, the Insurance Mart, Highland Rim Speedway, and Two Rivers Ford and Invader Bob's. I'm Joe Williams. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I don't know about you, but I have loved this show. This has been great, and I am still in awe of the legend that we've had here for an hour. And we're going to bring him back because there's a lot more to talk about. His racing career and much, much more. Don't forget this week, fasten your seat belts. Join us back here next Sunday night, 9 o'clock on the circuit on Viacom 36.
You've been watching the Viacom Channel 36, Nashville's own community programming channel. We now join Country Music Television Network.